Previously, in the dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves in conversation with Zartim, a mage disguised as a bullywug working for Yerk, the Lord of Fetid Obliteration and rival to the new generation, who just so happened to be the party's friends. Zartim
More wine.
Zartim made it clear quite quickly that he held no real allegiance to Yerk. He was here because he had discovered that the Blacktongue tribe's spawning stone was in fact a shard of the Pandemonium Stone, an artifact of pure chaos from the realm of Limbo. Zartim was sure that this stone was responsible for the strange power the Blacktongues held, and while he didn't corroborate it, Matashtai knew this to be at least partially true. Zartim thought the stone dangerous and implored the party that it must be taken away from here, out of Undermountain and banished, or else destroyed. But the party was unconvinced. They did not reject Zartim's plea, but they did sidestep it. After some negotiation, they got Zartim to agree to help them meet Yerk, but they realized they would rather wait on that meeting. All in all, Zartim seemed rather pliant in his agreements with the party, and eventually he left after the party agreed to what amounted to a tenuous alliance. Still unsure of what exactly they wanted to do, the party continued their rest while conversing about various options that lay before them. Ultimately, they were hesitant to head directly into confrontation with Yerk, primarily because they feared harming the Hydra Zetlal. They knew they would need to encounter the Lord eventually, but whether for actual reasons or for procrastination, they ultimately decided they would try to investigate the memory of the Vrail Olo that Izu had told them of. But they didn't want to risk Yerk's ire, so they decided to travel there outside of the Lord of Fetid Obliteration's territory. They headed southward through the serene cave they had found, then southeast, attempting to curve around Yerk's land. This brought them in view of a small, ruined temple, covered in moss and ivy, slowly being reclaimed by the swamp. Within, they could just see a statue of a dark, humanoid figure. A figure wielding two knives that dripped poison. Bones was immediately interested, but as he stepped forward to investigate, a tide of giant centipedes rose up from the base of the statue and swarmed towards the party. Fortunately, they were just mundane beasts, and after the party began to easily rip through them, the creatures fled in panic. Afterward, Bones began collecting the poison while the others investigated the area. Ashes and Matashtai discovered another chamber with another statue, this one of a winged serpent. After regrouping and preparing to leave, the party was stopped by a haunting voice coming from the ruins, a voice begging for help. Matashtai could not ignore this plea and began a conversation with a ghostly figure named Yoastel. Yoastel had fallen to the Sethian scourges and was bound here until they were destroyed. As the conversation continued, Yoastel's meek visage fell away, revealing snake-like features and raw fury. It was clear that this ghost needed the scourges to be destroyed, and she would do whatever she could to achieve it, even going so far as to give away the secrets of her people. Yoastel told the party about a ritual used to bind the immortal souls of the Spirit Naga, a ritual that would need items from the inner sanctum of the Temple of the Vrail Olo. And to increase the chance of the party's success and her own vengeance being fulfilled, Yoastel warned the party of the Guardians of the Temple, though she did say that their bodies should not be destroyed as they would have their uses. The ghost then directed the party to the memory of the past that Izu had told them of. There, they would discover important information about the inner workings of the ritual. With that, the ghost's energy reserves were spent, and she retreated, unable to retain her form. The party headed northward, skirting what they believed to be the line between Yurk's domain and that of the Queen of Bones. As they traveled north, they saw the temple of the Vrail Olo in the distance, but they headed eastward toward their objective and found themselves at a strange place where light echoed and danced on an island in the swamp. Behind a wall of pale blue, they could see the silhouettes of Ophidian humanoid hybrids battling against a large serpent. They had found the place of memory. But what were they to do now? Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.